Hey everybody, this is Joe Bullish, your clinical coach for MELS 603 in the summer semester of 2025. Um, in anticipation that I might not be able to join you this evening on Microsoft Teams because I seem to be having issues with that for some reason this semester, I thought I would go ahead and create this brief video to go over exactly what I would be telling you if I met with you and Dr. Stone in your class on wrapping up the semester as far as your task stream requirements go. There is another video that I recorded, I believe it was last semester, that I'm included in the email that contains this video. I know that in the recent past, candidates would have thought to have created a principal portfolio by now as part of some new legislature from North Carolina, but that has been put on pause. So what I ran into last semester was that some students, candidates didn't know or had not completed their competency folio and did not really know what the requirements of that were. So what I did is I created a video that shows you how to create your competency folio and then what you need to do within that competency folio. So you may want to look at that first if you haven't done that already. You may have took care of that already last semester with your clinical coach you had in the past or your course instructor, but I didn't want you to be lacking in that resource just in case that you do fall into that category where you haven't completed or created your competency folio yet. So if that is you, then you may not want to look at this video first, but look at the other video that's contained in the email that contains this video. Watch that, and then this will make more sense to you. This video is for those of you who have completed your competency folio and are aware of the requirements of the competency folio, and you need to know how do I need to finish up all the requirements in Taskstream to complete summer semester 2025. So right now I'm sharing my task stream, which will look a little bit different than yours. And the examples I'm going to show you may be a little bit different. Some of these are dated, but the content is relatively the same and the requirements are relatively the same. So the first thing I want to do is look at the direct response folio. Now, what you may have heard that referred to is by the acronym DRF. That's what a lot of us at Gardner Webb refer to that. And that the DRF is where you upload your evidences for this semester, such as the OMA. That's where you will be uploading that last semester, and the previous evidences. If you uploaded the APS or the APTL, you've uploaded them in the DRF for final evaluation and task stream. So depending on your 12-month program or 20-month program, it does vary a little bit. Like the 12-month program under 603, it will show the OMA and the SCIP. And in the 20-month program under 603, it will just show the OMA. So regardless of that, that's really the only differences in the portfolios are those two. So what I would like to do is I'm going to pause the recording right now because my dehumidifier in my office is going off, and I don't know if you can hear that or not. So let's take care of that little noise problem. Okay, so we corrected that issue, and that shouldn't noise problem shouldn't happen again. But anyway, let's move forward with the video. So as I said, regardless of the 12-month or 20-month, the requirements are basically the same, just the differences in the evidence that you need to upload. But the main thing is to get those evidences completed. That's your number one priority. Because for each semester, if you don't complete the evidence, then you really can't satisfy the other requirements of Taskstream. So focus on that right now. Get that done. Once you submit that evidence for evaluation, then you can look at the other requirements of Taskstream. So I'm going to come back to 603 because there's really this is stuff that you probably school ed disposition is the only other requirement that you have once you upload your evidence or evidences. So we'll come back to that. The other thing you want to be sure that you complete this semester is the competency folio. And if you've created the competency folio, then you know that you can access that at folios and web pages and then click on your competency folio. This is one that I created several years ago. as an example, and we can just look at that. If you have not completed your or created your competency folio, you really need to take care of that and catch up on submitting artifacts. And like I said, you probably want to pay particular attention to the other video contained in this email. You would start out if you need to create one by clicking create new. It is relatively user friendly, so there shouldn't be an issue with you taking care of that if you follow the other video. So let's get into the MELS competency folio. So in this failure, what you do after you finish your evidences, you are going to take the artifacts from that evidence and you are going to use them to update and continue forward with completing your competency folio. Each of the 21 competencies that you've been working here are listed here, along with the digital learning competency, which we'll get into later, and internship log. But I just want to focus on these 21 competencies right now. Each of these competencies have a description listed beside of them, and if you'll notice, right beside of the main heading, you will see in parentheses 3 evidences, and then in this case, the absol, the PSYOP, and the open-ended are listed. So regardless of the competency, there will always be this information in parentheses. And what this is guidance on what artifacts you are to upload for this competency. So let's go back to communication. Communication needs 1 artifact from the ABSL, 1 artifact from the PSYOP, and 1 artifact from open-ended. So you've completed the ABSL, so you should have already been able to upload an artifact from the ABSL there. You have not done the PSYOP yet, so you don't need to worry about that. And if you have a good open-ended, this is a wild card. This can be anything from the internship, from clinical work, anything from another evidence that you want to upload to highlight your competency in communication or whatever the competency may be. So change management needs 1 from the ABSL, the PSYOP, and open-ended. These first 2 or 3 are basically the same, except for here, conflict management. The only difference is it requires an artifact from the ABSL. So if you are caught up, the only thing you need to do is to go through each competency and upload artifacts from the evidence or evidences that you completed this semester. Some of you have worked and worked really hard and getting ready to finish up the OMA and the skip. Some of you are still working on the OMA. So once you finish those and upload those for evaluation, then go through each competency and look for those evidences beside of the competency. And right here, perfect example, customer focus. If you have artifacts from the OMA and the skip, you can upload those here this semester. Now, any of these, as I said, if you got a good open-ended, you can go ahead and be working on that. You don't have to wait to any particular semester to upload an open-ended artifact. That's whatever you think that you've got that would fit. I do want to remind you that that you can only use 1 artifact 2 times. So you cannot use an artifact for several different competencies 3 or 4 times because you think it fits. You can only use 1 artifact twice. So if you have an action plan, then you pick out where the best competency correlation is with the competencies for that action plan, and you can plug it into 2 slots, so to speak, but that's it, no more. So as I said, you will go through each of these competencies looking for artifacts. Here's one for the skip under delegation. And just go through here and look. And if you've got artifacts that you could upload that'll fit, then do that. Some of these you won't be able to complete until MELS 605, where you complete the CAP and the PSYOP. But once again, you can always put an open-ended if you need to. We go all the way down to the last one is visionary, but you can click on each of these to determine if you have any artifacts that you can upload. Digital learning competencies, you do not have to do anything here. That is for information and CAPE accreditation, just to show that we do incorporate the digital learning competencies into and embedded into our prompts and requirements of the rubrics. You do not have to do anything with digital learning competency. And at some point this semester, you will upload your summer semester 2025 log. That's for me to review at that point in time. And this is the only place that you upload the internship log. If you go over to the DRF, and I want you to please pay particular attention to this. If you go over to the DRF, under 605, you do see a link to upload your internship log. Well, that is at the very end of the program where you upload all of your log. You do not upload to that until 605, and you'll receive instructions on when to do that. So you do not need to upload anything into the DRF in regard to internship log. You only this semester, summer semester 2025, you upload this semester's internship log right here at the bottom of your competency folio. So when you get finished putting in the artifacts that you want to have reviewed this semester, I'll go over this in the other video, but you just go up here and you click on wherever you're at within the competency folio, and you can request comments. So there's a publish share and there's a request comment. You do not click on publish share. That's if you're wanting to give somebody a link to this to review it, but it's not for feedback. For my feedback, your clinical coach feedback, you click request comments. So you click on the competencies that you've uploaded artifacts to, whatever they may be, click continue, and then you select my name. At that point in time, when you click that and click continue, when you highlight my name and click continue, I'll receive an email that says you have requested for me to review your competency folio. So if you do not see my name there, please send me an email, let me know. I think that's happened already once this semester, and I'll contact the administrator of Taskstream to make sure that you can that name is you have access to my name to where you can request comments. So you click my name, request comments, and it will send me an email. I'll come in here, review it, look at the artifacts, and sign off on it. Or if I see an issue or something we need to change, I'll let you know. So once you finish your competency folio, then you can go back to the DRF, and the only other requirement that you have this semester is to complete the School of Ed disposition. This is a self-assessment that you complete. Basically, how are you growing towards your disposition of educational leadership? There's no grade to it. You have to do it, so you only get credit for meeting the requirement or not meeting the requirement, and the requirement is completing the self-assessment. Can take you anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, just depends on how much reflection you have to do and the time you take to go through everything. So once again, to finish summer semester 2025, make sure for 603 that you upload the appropriate evidence. That's number one priority. Once you do that, you go to your competency folio and upload the artifacts that are relevant for this semester and the evidence that you did. Upload this semester's internship log. Then you go back to the DRF, and then after that, you can complete the School of Ed disposition for 603. And at that point in time, you have met all the requirements for this semester and this course. There's really nothing else for you to do now in 605. There'll be a few other tasks that you'll need to complete before you end the program. But for MELS 603, all you need to do now is upload the evidence to the DRF for final evaluation. Go over to your competency folio, upload the artifacts that are relevant for the evidence that you did in this semester, upload this semester, a signed copy of this semester's internship log, and then you go back into the DRF and complete the School Ed disposition. As always, if you have any question, send me a text, give me a call, shoot me an email, send me a message in the Blackboard Ultra, and I'll help you out. I hope you have a great evening. Hopefully I'll be able to join you tonight, but as I said, the way things have gone this semester, I'm not banking on it. So please use this video and the other video that I did to assist you in wrapping up summer semester 2025. I hope you have a great evening. God bless you all, and I hope you and your family stay safe and healthy. Thank you.